Good day everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm brilliant Alifazuha, student number A320 and A0192 from Fiction D. My previous video was criticizing the famous critic Roger Ebert. Now I'd like to present my critical review through the movie entitled Little Women. This movie, released in 2019, directed by Greta Gerwig, was adapted from novel Little Women 1868, made by Louisa May Alcott. Little Women movie tells about the four white sisters of the March family who lived in the state of Massachusetts post-Civil War that almost split the United States in the middle of the 19th century. I'm going to criticize the theme of this movie, the plot, the characters, cinematography, production design, the difference between the novel and the movie, and last is the relevance between the novel and the movie. The first is theme. The theme of this movie is feminism. Back then, it was taboo for women to speak up, cut their hair, let alone decide not to marry. At the time, women were considered only successful if they had become a wife and mother, as if women had no other ambitions than to marry and have a family. Little Women really stressed the inequalities between the men and women. As Jo March told her mother, "Women have minds and they have souls as well as just hearts. They've got ambition and they've got talents as well as this beauty. I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman fits for. I'm so sick of it." Number 2. Plot. The Little Women movie by Gerwig is divided into 3 parts, like the traditional style, where there is introduction, conflict, and resolution. However, the explanation of the conflict of this story involves a constantly recurring progression of back and forth. Jo will lead the audience to follow past flashbacks of her life and present real-life events. It seems complicated to explain how Gerwig was able to bring together fragments of the stories that were not bound to the flow of advanced time. For some, it may be very boring because of its slow plot. Next, characters. The portrayal of the characters in this movie is interesting because in one family of 4 children, there are different traits. The main character, Jo March, is described as having an ambition to boost the family economy by means of her written literature. Meg, the eldest sister, has talent as a stage actress and she has a motherly characteristic. The third children, Amy, was described as a humorous figure but was often in conflict with Jo. Amy has a gift for painting. As for Beth, as the youngest, it is described as being good at playing the piano despite being shy and physically weak. Next, there are cinematography. Filming is also done in various ways with different color tones according to the plot used. Scenes that take place in the past have warm tones, subtle details, and energetic camera movement. Meanwhile, today's scenes have cool tones, sharp details, and a more static camera. While it would take some time to understand, Greta Gerwig cleverly used non-linearity to deliver an emotional punch that effectively makes the audience cry. Next, production design. Apart from the cinematography aspect, styling and hairstyle are also made differently to show the differences in the ages of the characters. But it can't be denied, even though it's been made to look young, it can be fooled. There were some moments in the movie, for example, Amy's scene when she was in class, which looked too old. Next, the differences between the novel and the movie. Gerwig's modern mindset changes several characters from the original nature in the novel, such as Laurie, who is more sympathetic to the audience, Jo, with her wild soul as a novelist who is similar to Greta Gerwig herself, and Meg's aspirations to become a more respected housewife. Greta Gerwig still retains the original material from the novel Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. However, she also didn't forget to include a touch of creativity of her own views, subtly and not too much, especially when it comes to feminism. Through the dialogues she wrote, Greta Gerwig managed to convey her feminist message well, especially through the character of Jo March. The last is the relevance between novel and movie. Although adapted from novel released more than 150 years ago, Little Women is very relevant to the polemic facing women everywhere. From the contextual point of view of this movie, the audience does not need to read the source material first to understand the movie. Greta takes full advantage of Little Women's relevance to the lives of today's women. This combination of classic tales with epic contemporary elements makes Greta Gerwig's version of The Little Women the best version of the Little Women adaptations ever made. The message that this film wants to convey actually feels a bit ironic, because a story written 2 centuries ago actually raises issues that are still relevant to the condition of women today. That's all my critical review from my point of view and a little bit of reference from books, journal, and websites. Thank you for watching and see you!